Right. So next off we have Arrow. Final season. Well, I
Right.
should say the final two episodes after, the Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Right.
And like I said, when we talked about that, well, the wrap up to that, I was seeing how basically I was expecting to see how they were going to show Mia's character, how she was going to don her father's, don the hood basically and become the new Green Arrow basically. And they do that in a sense. Well, they actually do that in the second to last episode, right?
Right.
Which, weirdly enough, well, actually not weirdly, but smartly enough, leaves the potential basically for a spin-off series. And from what I've read
Multiple
actually,
actually.
right, it's called Green Arrow and the Canaries, right? But I'll explain what I mean. Well, yes, multiple, but in this case, we're talking about Star City in 2040. Cause
Right.
this is where
20, or 2040, I can't remember.
tw- sorry,
20, what year it is? 2050
no,
or
40,
2040?
40.
Yeah, okay. Right.
Yeah, because that was where Mia came from, right? So basically, the story itself set in that time, right? And don't want to spoil what happens, but this is like literally, yeah, well, 2 decades after Oliver died, right? So everybody kind of move on. But what went on is that Mia kind of forgot what went on before, well, all the events that happened in the season itself. So she is a socialite. She going to get married to this guy. Her brother's still alive. Her friends are still alive, and all that kind of stuff. If you remember, prior to Crisis, well, a majority of her friends got wiped out by Deathstroke, right? And the person, ironically, that she going to get married to is the guy who was playing Deathstroke. He was the brother of one of the guys who was helping out Mia, but he was also the adopted son of John Diggle, right? So in Terminator-esque style, you see in Laurel now. Laurel come in and warning this girl. Well, the friend, well, in this universe, she was the daughter of this big um crime boss that Oliver had bring down like years ago now. But basically, she
Right.
was warning her about all these guys coming to kidnap her. And so said, so done. She get kidnapped. So now Laurel seeks out Mia, and then she goes back and finds Dinah now, right? Dinah, who also kind of forget events were going on, and they do some little bit. They do a little something cool here,
Remember, everything reset her, so it's like a new
right?
version of. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So they had this little cool thing where she had like this glove now and had like these little like dots on them basically. So if you touch somebody, they will see the memories that they lost now. So it kind of incorporate what John Jones did, but what she says is that Cisco Ramon actually created tech fit. So cool. So everybody kind of remember what went on. You remember what Oliver did. It's like, okay, cool, but Star City hasn't had any crime. But what Laura says that in a couple of years, well, sorry, the year following, because the girl who got kidnapped got killed, that will
Right.
start like this whole crime wave. So they had to kind of stop this. So essentially, it's just like as I say before, it's Green Arrow and the Canaries. It's all three of them join forces, and they just kicking ass and all that kind of stuff. So that essentially is what the story is about. And then the next episode, well, the final one called Feed Out. Perfect title by the way, right?
Yeah, yeah.
This one is the send off now, the true send off to Oliver's character. This is where we actually see the funeral because with the last episode they kind of implied that the funeral did take place now. But in this case here, you're seeing everything. You see everybody show up. Also you see Grant Gustin and Melissa Benoist make appearances. They show
Yeah.
up. Um, but really, what it was is how to describe. So William, no, that would be Mia's younger brother, right? Sorry, yeah, Mia's younger brother. Well, the William that we know, the teenage William, right, in Star City, 2020, right? He gets kidnapped by this guy who Oliver had brought down before, and they had like this nice little flashback where you kind of understand what was going on. And props to the stunt team and all that kind of stuff. They also do like this really cool. Well, they heal it as probably the action sequence to end all action sequences, and yeah,
Right.
they kind of come true. So if you watch our
Yeah.
episode, you have those scenarios where, yeah, Arrow will come, Green Arrow will come in, fight a bunch of bad guys and escape. Well, they do that, but it's in this kind of 3 to 4 minute sequence, and kind of dope
Right.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What it is, they shoot a brand new sequence, but it's like the new version of what the original Clash with Deathstroke was. Like
Yes.
it's that. That's the
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah, that's exactly the idea. And I like how they kind of incorporate, footage from like, previous episodes, previous seasons. Sorry, I think it was like season 3 or 4, one of them, right, involving Deathstroke there. So they kind of work around that really cool, and just to kind of show how, essentially to show how Oliver's cool. And I can remember it was this list, and he was just killing off people. How that eventually changed, you know what I mean? Where he kind of realized he had to be a hero and not just some killer, right? Um, and what else? But what was really cool is that like near the end, like after the funeral, everybody kind of move on to do their stuff, right? And just going into slight spoiler territory. So with John Diggle, something interesting happened is that they have the scene with him in the night by this
Right,
van, and a meteor actually lands right near
right,
him. Big explosion. He flies back, hits the van.
right.
He looks down now and he sees like this box, right, in the rubble, and he picks it up, he opens it, and it's this
Yeah,
green light. And they
yeah.
never
So
really see what happens there now. But I don't know if
right,
in comic book lore what's going
right.
on there. Maybe I don't know if that's supposed to lead into a next series.
So
I
here
can't really say.
what feel happening there.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so two things going on. So remember the end of the crisis, they show one of the worlds is a Green Lantern world, right?
Oh
Oh, you didn't know it's a Green Lantern? Holy shit.
no, dude. I didn't pick up on it. I actually forgot
Okay,
that.
so okay, no.
Right.
So here what thing going to happen. Uh HBO Max has a Green Lantern show coming. So the Green Lantern show going to be that world. And that'll have all the Green Lanterns except for probably Jon Stewart. And then Diggle in Earth Prime going to be the Green Lantern on Earth Prime, but he's not going to get his own show. What
Right.
is happening? Remember, they say Diggle wife. Well, Diggle had two children, or the daughter and the son,
Yes.
right? Because both timeline. Because remember, Flash caused that to happen. To have to switch his son to a daughter, I think. But
Yeah,
now
I
because
remember that.
right. So yeah, anyway, he had two children, but they mentioned the wife moving to Metropolis. So what I feel they're gonna do is have him be the main side character in new Superman show coming. Because I have a new Superman show coming as well on
Right.
CW. So what you could say basically what Martian Manhunter is to Supergirl, he is going to be to Superman. He's going to be like the most.
Oh, okay. I got it. I got it.
I don't think he getting his own show, his own Green Lantern show. I don't think that happened.
Probably
Um,
not.
right. So that's what I suspect they're gonna do there. That's what I feel they're doing. That's what I think they're doing. And then since they have a new multiverse now, they're gonna do the HBO Max show, and then they're probably gonna cross over that later on. Maybe if things work out, right? That is what I feel going on. That's what I suspect going on.
Right. Yeah. Well, that that's some really good points there. But dog, I really didn't pick up on the Green Lantern thing. And like I was watching, it's like, wait, no, that's not kryptonite, right? But
No,
why would it be in this little
look like
case though?
yeah.
Yeah. But what I really dug though was the final scene involving pretty much Oliver and Felicity, who comes back. I thought that was really great, bringing her back in. And I love like, well, yeah, I say love, right? In terms of like with Oliver, how he saw hell previously, how he saw purgatory literally as being Leon knew. In this place, he saw the afterlife, or heaven, if you want to call it that, being the same office where he saw Felicity for the first time. Not to be confused where they actually met up together, where he was trying to extract some kind of information. I think that's how it went, and that's where they actually spoke for the first time. That we talk about when he first saw her, basically. And I thought that was like a really, really nice way to end the series here. So, I mean, yes, the series itself always had like this kind of problematic aspect about it, like in terms of how to say, how what stories it's trying to tell, how it is wrap it up, and all that kind of stuff. I know maybe that's why some people kind of give up on it, because it just kind of running like probably like spinning on its wheels now. But I'll give the creators credit though. They actually come through real good for the end though. So is that like the best series finale ever? I'll talk about that a little bit later. But Knife really come through real good with this one. But I take it you checked it out, right?
Yeah, I watched it. I watched it finale.
Right. What you thought about it?
Yeah, look, I've never been a big fan of Arrow, and mostly because I just never really liked Green Arrow as a character in general, and I never felt that this show broke me in enough because it always felt like off-brand Batman. That's what it
Right.
always felt. Sorry to say it. Uh, but they finally, but as a finale, it works, especially post Crisis.
Yeah.
It works. It works for what it is. I thought it was a solid finale. It works as a finale quite well. I felt a little too much of an ad for other shows. Like they clearly hyping the show and that show and so on. So but that's fine. For what
Yeah,
it is. Like
that's fine. That's fine. And I think it's
exactly,
just really for the fans, so they wouldn't be
exactly.
too teary eyed. They're like, oh gosh, you're not gonna see this again, man. But you know, what I mean, you have great characters interwoven in the story anyway, so you might at least give the impression that they could have, future shows with them. You know what I mean? I wouldn't
Right.
mind
So,
seeing, well, Dinah and Laurel and Wild Dog and those characters. Even bring back
yeah,
Ragman to like, oh, yeah, I forget about yes.
right, right.
I mean, yes, points for bringing back of course, Laurel father though.
Right, yeah, no, they had to bring back everybody. So it's like everything reset. There's no continuity thing anymore. They do what they had to do. We know what happened with Crisis. Cool. As I said, what I'm genuinely excited is Diggle as Green Lantern. I hope they really pull that off. I hope they go forward and I hope they really go forward and pull the trigger on that. And
Yeah,
they basically have Diggle in Superman because I really like the Tyler Hoechlin Superman. I really want to see what they're gonna do. They change it up where they have both of them have two children now. So I want to see where they're going to go with that if they make it a kids show or they put that aspect it and kind of skew younger because sorry to say it, DC's kind of only work when they skew younger.
yeah,
And
yeah,
uh, I want to see what they're doing with that show. That's the only thing I have me hyped to say okay because they're gonna somebody who yeah he had to kind of continue on past Arrow now. Like I really want to see him continue getting work and whatever it is. So cool.
yeah.
Um,
And
right. So
speaking of that, I hope to see Stephen Amell in, well, more stuff, right? I mean, the man done
right.
dedicate 8 years of life to do this. He make that one appearance in what was that Ninja Turtles sequel that I didn't bother to watch? Where he play
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just
he
Katie
play
Jones.
by
Yeah,
Casey
Katie
Jones.
Jones. That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, I forgot about
So
that. Anyway,
yeah,
but
so I don't
yeah,
know if he'll get more
I want
stuff
to
where he get to, what I mean, where he get to showcase his physical, his fighting skills and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. We'll see.
right. Yeah, so cool. I just want to see what they're gonna do with it, make it work, and uh, right as a finale, it's fine. It's a nice. It really is the Arrowverse now, as in Arrow created the rest of the universes. Life
Yes.
see from that, and no longer Arrow doesn't exist on its own, and other Arrow shows go. We can see what will happen man, going forward. I have no idea if the other Arrow shows go work, but we go find out. And yeah, it's really just the Diggle stuff I want to see going forward. That's about it.
Yeah, I understand. I
Right.
just curious to see what other shows, like if they really gonna do this Green Arrow and the Canary stuff. Well, I'm just curious to see how it'll play out there, and if they're gonna incorporate, well, not just oh gosh, like Wild Dog's character, forgetting his name. Like, well, I mean, like, not just see them as side characters, but them actually forming their own team again, like bringing back the Team Arrow thing again. I don't know if they're gonna do that again. I don't know where the story's gonna go from there, but I'm glad that it
Yeah.
leaves certain things open for the possibility of that. But
Right.
as a final season, like I wouldn't say this was the best one. I mean, I gosh, like I don't even know if it have actually like a best season basically. Like I always felt like the earlier stuff was pretty cool, but like the more they started get deeper into the Arrowverse itself, where they incorporate more characters, the more the story just kind of loses focus. There. I like in this case here, this kind of brought it back to okay. It had to be about Oliver. We had to end this off on a high note. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the actor himself, Stephen Amell, didn't like the way how they kill him off. And I totally
Yeah.
agree though, because I don't know. Like, I know they was trying to go for the whole epic Matrix Revolutions and all that, but dog, use the green arrow, like use some arrows or something, not some magic powers or whatever, cosmic powers or whatever crap it is. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. I mean, I get what you're trying to go for, but yeah. Look, as I say, I don't really fight down. I already gave my opinion about the end of the crisis
Of
event.
Crisis, yeah.
Yeah, I know why they had to do it the way they did because there's a simple reason. They had no money, right? It's just budget.
Yeah,
Like all
yeah.
that was just budget, right?
Clearly they ran out of cash, right?
Yeah, clearly. So I didn't really fight that down and hold on to this big fight down thing about that. So it's like they do what they had to do. It's a shame that the movie people couldn't be fucking doing this, whatever. And my attitude is that they're building for is to build going forward and really give it the resources and energy. And look, as I keep saying, they should just give Berlanti the universe now at this point. He should be the
Yeah,
Feige of DC.
you
We
know.
know the crossover Ezra Miller Flash. To me, that is it now. Every live action stuff should be under his belt, in my opinion, from a vision standpoint. Um, and they should like make that work. And tell me want to do a big crossover, he should be doing it. Drop all the
Yeah,
other business bullshit. You have time to move forward. It has been 7 years since Man of Steel came out. Enough. That is longer than the time between freaking Dark Knight and thing. So come on, enough. Move
yeah,
on. Time.
yeah,
It's the same time between Batman Begins, I think, around the same time between Batman Begins and Man of Steel. So come on, enough. Move
yeah.
on. Your thing. Start building from scratch and make it work now. And start to build a universe. You don't have to do it serious business. That day is done. But we can see what going forward. And yeah,
Right.
that is it. I just want to see what the new DC material is, and if they could really like put DC under one banner. These only live action people make that work now.
Yeah,
And
like oh gosh, we need 2020s, right? Like do it,
yeah,
do it, do it.
yeah,
Yeah,
try to keep people interested in the material. And because Tyler
right.
Hector, I'm excited for him. I really want to see what they're going to do with his material. And as I say, Diggle is a big going forward, and then we'll see with Flash and them going forward, as I say. Right, so
Right.
that is it.
And speaking of Flash, though, well, this that could be the next flagship show that we'll see. How that season is gonna end. I don't think it's gonna go for full 10 seasons, right? Like say a Smallville. So yeah,
Right.
that show could be on the verge of, well, I don't want to say dying out, but coming to an end, very soon. So I'm really curious to see what they do there. But for what we got here for season 8, like I don't know, like I kind of want to rate it, but I kind of don't want to at the same time. But it's funny because I will be rating the next show that we'll talk about, the next season of this show. But I mean, if I had to give it something, strong 3.5 to like 4, man. I mean,
Right.
at least they kind of stayed focused on what they were saying. The callbacks were great, even though it was a little too much. Like you had to be like a real diehard fan to know, okay, this was season this episode that, because the show they're gonna hold your hand and tell you what going on there. And imagine for people who just never cared about the show at all, they just probably checked it out because of Crisis. They would have a clue what's going on, but I mean, even still, the impact of Oliver Queen, his character in the Arrowverse, and I felt that they did his character, justice there, for the most part. Still, still on the still nonplussed, sorry, on how they killed him off. I mean, it's not like, yeah, I don't know, like I still wish they did it better, but still do the way how they honor this character and how well where his character is right now. You know what I mean? Like I thought that was like a really really sweet way to end things off. There, a really fitting way to end things off. There. So I can't complain. So let me see where the other shows go. If we get more Arrowverse shows out of it, will be like the Green Arrow and the Canary stuff or whatever. Yeah, we'll see.
Right.
Right. So sticking with TV for a bit. Let me talk about Mr. Horseman, sorry, himself, Bojack Horseman. So,
Yeah.
well, I want you to do the just a run through of what this second half is about, right? And maybe like a recap of what happened in the first half, right? But yeah, with this one here, this was a full 16 episodes that we got for the season 6 as a whole, right? But we got the first 8 last, I believe is before Halloween, October the 25th, actually, we got that. And then we got the final 8 episodes, January the 31st of this year here. So, yeah, just run through what the second half of season 6 was about.
Right. So basically, everything kind of fallen apart for Bojack with respect to uh, the references of his career, and some two journalists was picking up on that now. And all the bullshit that digging up on Bojack coming back on him.
Mm,
And basically, it's the whole thing is set up to focus on, well, Bojack being cancelled effectively, which we knew was coming.
yes.
But they addressed this and run through the scenario quite well, I thought. Of the end point of Bojack and his career, him being bought out, what's going to happen there, and then everybody else kind of moving on beyond him, and him as an actor and what his career is going to be, what doing well, how to revitalize himself, and well, the potential end or not, or maybe not, of BoJack Horseman and what they're doing with it. And yeah, I thought this was great. great fitting ending to the series. Um,
Totally agree.
yeah,
Totally agree. So I was always on this show, right? From day one, right? I know the first season, many people argue had this kind of rocky start. You know what I mean? Because
yeah,
it was just this unique world. We never saw these characters before. You know, the whole human and anthropomorphic animal stuff. It was kind of hard to take in at first. It's kind of weird, kind
yeah,
of bizarre, but we got into it once we got the vibe of it and the jokes. And then, well,
yeah.
when the
Well,
drama
the
really
thing
kicks
is,
in, it's like,
yeah,
oh,
the
okay,
thing is,
this is what you're going for.
yeah, that first half of the first season, it got kind of got made the show get a bad rap initially. Because I remember
Right.
when the show came out, it had a pretty relatively low score. Um, and I remember it's like, the critics only watch the first half of it. So when I watched the first half of it, I was like, yeah, it deserved this low score. And then the second half hit, and I was like, wow, this actually don't deserve this low score
Yes.
at all. It deserves a much higher score. So like, all right, what going on now? And yeah, it just kind of sleep. Everybody kind of sleep on the show now.
Yeah.
Because of that now. But yeah, go ahead now.
Yeah, so for me, and I mean the show's hitting my hard with each and every season, right? You got the laughs, but you also got the really hard hitting drama, right? But for me, the moment where I was like, okay, this show is not like it's not just a comedy drama on Netflix, right? This is much more than that. This is like talking about like if you want to argue was the greatest TV shows of all time, right? This show should be like in should come up in your argument, right? Was
Yeah,
when I saw the poster for season three, Dread. And it's just a simple picture of Bojack himself looking at the screen, look at the camera. There's a light shining from behind him, and you see the word soprano, draper, underwood, horseman. So they ranking this show amongst the Sopranos, Mad Men, which I still have yet to watch. I know people praise that show to high heaven. I just never got around to watch it. And well, of course, you know the show that got me too'd, House of Cards, right? But
right.
it's what he was saying in terms of his character himself now being this damaged, tortured, protagonist. But and there are these things about it that you genuinely hate her, but at the same time you just can't help but watch this man, or even though he's kind of falling apart right in front of your eyes, but and it's like you just want to see what happens next. You want to see how far he goes down that rabbit hole now. But then with the that with season four, actually, well, sorry, from season four up, you actually saw him try to climb out of that rabbit hole. You know, he really tried to better himself. He really tried to fix the relationships that he had, some of which he failed with, like with his mom, for example, but he just kept trying, right? And I felt with this season here, you really see him try so hard, right? And it's really admirable when you think about it too. It's one of those shows though where yes, you just have such a memorable protagonist, right? And you kind of like with the difference now with those three shows that I mentioned and this one here is that you can kind of see yourself in that person now. Not saying that you have that everybody do some dumb shit back in the days and damage relationships and all that kind of stuff and all that kind of thing, but really is what the show is about at its core now, which is about just the human experience now, you know what I mean? And it's through the eyes of, well, a horseman, right? And that to me just like I was reminded about that when I saw that series finale, Dread. And I'll just flat out say it before we talk about the season itself. Um, this is one of the best shows I've ever seen in my life, Dread. Like
Yeah, yeah,
hands down. This I would rank Dread as amongst one of the best shows I've ever seen, like ever, Dread. Like I would have that up there with the Breaking Bads, with the well, I haven't seen Bad Brothers yet, with the Wire, with the Sopranos, Dread. It's up there. This is one of the best shows ever made, in my opinion, Dread. And this season here just kind of cement that. Like this was where it's like, if it, well, in case y'all didn't really get it, Dread, I know this is the final season of all that, Dread. Let me just come really hard with this, Dread. Let me really hit you with all with everything that we have. We are so
yeah,
Dread, just for you to understand. In case you get by now, 5 seasons in case you get, yeah, this is what we are about, Dread. I loved the season, Jen. Like just watching. Well, I actually rewatched the first episodes and how it led into this one here. I loved it. Um, the humor, the bizarre humor, still works. You know what I mean?
yeah,
The satirical look at Hollywood still works. The mere fact that they have the two news reporters being So I'm not sure of the characters' names though, but like I know that they're going for that sort of 1940s screwball comedy. You know, like if you
Right. Yeah,
see
that's the
like
joke.
Catherine
Yeah.
Hepburn, the Cary Grant,
Yeah, yeah. And
oh
all them
gosh.
speaking in transatlantic. You're right.
Yes, 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 yes. And I had a great joke where
Yeah,
when,
Fresno.
when
Yeah.
she was getting ready for the wedding, and like she's sister watching, she like, why does you talk like this for? You know,
Yeah,
we from
we're from
Fresno, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but is how determined she was to just bring down this character though. Like when I was thinking about it, I was like, well, yeah, this kind of mirror, like, well, you know, to these celebrities that, well, male celebrities, especially when they get caught with something, it's like
Right.
somebody will dig something else from their past, and it's like, okay, we just keep digging and digging and digging, and we're just gonna just throw all of this in front of you to more or less make you more of a villain than you actually are. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I saw that with that second half where, well, they had this news reporter, well, not the pig now, but this mouse reporter who was there before. I think it was in season 5. She comes back
Yeah.
and she interviewed him, and she just grilling him with all these questions now. And it's like the man just don't have anything to say now. But well, so, also yes, the the weird stuff with Todd, you know, what I mean, it still works. Todd is still one of my favorite characters in the show. They have a great scene with him in the end, with him and Bojack talking. And I swear, like the man was just dropping like one jewel after the next. Like he just talking about, well, you know, like just stuff about life there. But you know him being this slacker, you think he just kind of talking shipping this like he you know what you talking about them. It's like, well, no, the man kind of have a sense of what going on. Like, okay, this working there. But what I really felt to do with the season was with Diane, right? Alison B's character and what she was going
Yeah.
through. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, her moving from LA, her to Chicago, start this new relationship with this guy named Guy,
Yeah.
who is this
Same guy.
by the boy Lakeith Stanfield. He was cool.
Right. Is the kid Sanfield or it's
It's Lakeith
retired?
Stanfield. It's his voice. He's Guy.
Okay, I thought it was Brian Terry. Okay, I thought it was Brian Terry Henry. Okay, okay.
Or you would think because of the character's build, now, you know what I mean? But no,
Yeah.
it's actually Lakeith. It's actually Lakeith. Yeah.
Right.
And what I loved about that too is, well, you know, she's moving away because you know she well basically she wants to move as fast as she can from Mr. Peanut Butter because they failed marriage, right? But she now wants to write this book, but because she have all these insecurities bottled in, it it keep kind of spilling into this book now, and she wanted to be this memoir. And it's only when oh gosh, Princess Carolyn comes in and say, well, no, we want you to write this fun book now, is where she kind of
Yeah.
move away from that.
Oh
So I
no, no,
thought that was
no.
like cool.
No, I like when they did that with that because she was like, oh, she had to be all serious and write her own memoir and that
Yes,
bullshit,
yes,
and she
yes.
just couldn't do it. And then she does the funny, fun detective book that is a kind of Nancy Drew kind of something.
Yeah,
Um,
kind of a Nancy
that,
Drew and a Dora.
right,
Well, not so much Dora, but more because the character is Vietnamese as well now. So yeah, you have that
right,
minority main character in the book now.
right. But yeah, she was like just wanted to write this more fun book, and I ended up working out better than this nonsense. Although Peanut Butter fucked that up in the end, which was hilarious. But
It was. Yeah,
yeah,
and really and truly, I mean, I could go on and on about what went on here, but really, this show kind of solidify what I love about the series as a whole, man. Like these characters and this how they dealing with their own situations. Man. I mean, like especially with the past, like how like holding on to it, how to move on from it, how to deal with situations, how to move on from said situations, those kind of things there. You know what I mean? So essentially it's just the human experience, and that's really what I
yeah,
love about the show here.
right.
Like there were moments where I legit was worried for Bojack, like just wondering if this
Right.
man was gonna make it or not. And we're not gonna
You know,
say what happened. But
as I said, they nailed Diane and her not being able to write.
yes, yes.
Wasting whole days not being creative, and then you just get stuck on something. Hey, you want to write this thing because you think it's more important than this other thing. But they get into that. I thought that was good. I could have personal experience with that. But then
Yeah,
they
yeah.
get into well, as usual. Bojack always is second to last episode. There's always be a
Yes, yes,
doozy.
yes, yes, yes. I'll talk about the second, the last a bit, right?
Right.
But yeah,
Get into
boy.
that.
As we talk about Diana and her writer's block thing, so
Yeah.
another pointers give well this season and the show as a whole though is how they use animation, like how they use
Yeah.
it to symbolize stuff. So I love how they show Diane's writer's block, like how she was dealing with it, all the voices in her head, hearing her,
Yeah.
the girl who bullied her back in high school here, and she died, all that kind of stuff. But like we just go into the second to last episode. yeah, boy. That one really, 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 really hit me. But like, I think we talked about like last season how it didn't hit as hard um, as we expected it. But this one here, boy, yeah. And not to spoil anything though, but what I love about this episode here is how they touch on death itself, and how they visualize it as well. Too, it's a simple animation, just but how it's portrayed basically. It's it's how to say it's frightening, yes, but at the same time kind of surreal at the same time, and it fits with the overall tone of the show
Yeah,
itself. But I thought
yeah,
that was like a perfect metaphor for what he was going through as well. And like I say, it just had me kind of worried as to what was going to happen next. Like
yeah,
legit, I was just like emotional by that though. So they nailed that second to last episode. But to me, really where they shined was the final one, and I love where it was just basically like a life goes on kind of thing. Like characters kind of move
yeah,
on, they do
yeah.
the
Because
things. That's
I
it.
yeah, because I really thought the show would have. You see, what I like about the show, the writers of the show always seem to be quite a step ahead of you. In many ways,
Yes.
like I
Yeah.
always, you think it's going to be this thing. Oh, they're going to end with Bojack's death, or you're going to end with this, they're going to end with that. And no, they actually go with the ending that was actually in many ways the most subversive. And they made a great point to say life's a bitch and then you die, but for some of us, life's a bitch and then you continue living. And,
Yes. That's a
that's a good
great,
point.
great, great line. I
That's
love that.
a
Yeah.
great point. And they touch up on the endings quite good. It's between the final scenes with Tim and Todd on the beach. That was great.
That was great.
Um,
Carolyn's. I love how Carolyn's
yeah, last scene
acting.
with him
I
and
love that.
Carolyn. Last scene with him and Carolyn, and they're talking about him saving the day. Again, it's very meta. It does that quite well. And then the last reveal with Diane and well, finding out she got married, and I thought that was great.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. I
and
love that. I love that. Yeah.
the fact that Bojack's life, he had to move on with his life without him. She feeling very angry about the call because he made the call to her. He had to remember because he thought he didn't make the call, eh? And he went
Right.
back in the pool and something about that.
Right, right.
And she feels
All this has to do with the previous episode where we assumed,
right,
well, sorry, we had to say it, but yeah, we assumed that he was dead now. You know what I mean? That he
right,
committed
exactly.
suicide. Right.
Right, you're right, exactly. And how they did that now. And that I mean that second last episode is so super dark of how they did
Boy.
it.
Yeah.
Especially, especially with this character boy, oh gosh, with Secretariat. Holy shit. I was like, wait,
Yeah,
they
boy.
make it
And
because
I
they
like how the show stops to say that it's both Secretariat and his dad at
added
least
that right. Yeah,
in
yeah.
one character though, because of watching
Yeah,
this boy,
exactly.
the boy, but he
It makes
moving like
sense. It makes sense because of his history with both characters though.
yes,
And what they did, I thought was frankly brilliant is that they did the person who's the most cynical, um, is the one who's the most afraid now. I like that. I
yes,
really, really
yes,
like that. They did that aspect of that's a big part of human personality. A bunch of people out here who, they like to act tough now and try to say, oh well, I'm not afraid of that, or I don't give a shit about this. I was like, no, them is the motherfuckers. You had to watch when push come to shove. Them is the one who go and shit their pants first now.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that's really what happened with this. It's like that last piece with him, he beat all cynical with Bojack, and when time for he to have a play to go into the abyss effectively. He's the one who melted down now. At least in Bojack's mind. And I really,
Yes.
really like. And that poem he did is really good too because it's referencing what happened in season one. Um,
Oh, right. Yeah.
like because his character committed suicide and Bojack had to watch it on the news now.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I really, really thought that they did that whole sequence great with Herb and the what's she named, the mother, the
Oh gosh,
Sarah,
the girl. Yes. Oh gosh, what? Sarah Lynn,
Sarah,
right? Who died? You're right.
yeah, Sarah. And yeah, I thought they nailed that sequence perfectly. I mean, that shit had you actually anxious, Dread, because
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
he's in it, but they really get the sense of metaphor with it perfectly. And then
Right.
it
And then
leads
like I
into the
say how they visualize that, like how it's shown. To I
yeah,
was like, yeah, I love
yeah,
this. I love this. Yeah.
yeah. It's probably the darkest episode of the series entirely. I would probably say that.
Mm.
Um, I'll probably say maybe the episode with the mother in season 4 was up there with that. Um, maybe, but I'll
Right.
say this one
Not the funeral scene, but the one where he dropped her off at the retirement home and just
right,
went to town.
right,
Right.
and
Yeah.
she memories of her, yeah, having all the backstory of her history now. I
Right.
thought that was
That
pretty
was
dark.
season 4, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Season 4, yeah. Yeah, it's up there. So I was like, but this was still up there with that level of darkness, and they make it work. But then again, life's a bitch and then you die. But then for most of us, life's a bitch and then you continue living, and you
Yeah,
had to handle the bullshit. And
that
I
that's
really like what it did. Yeah, I like how they had Bojack. You have to go to prison because yeah, he's not supposed to be the house. It's not his house anymore. Um, and he went to prison, and you understand why. Then he went to the funeral, and then they leave it open. And I really like that they left it open. I like that, and they
yeah, me
kept it
too,
at
me
the
too. Yeah,
lose. Everybody else move on with their life. Everybody else had a happy ending in a sense. He had his ending, not necessarily a happy ending, but he had an ending. Life goes on.
Exactly. And
Is
to
that
me, and
he not completely ruined. It's not to say that Princess Caroline not going to out a life or anything like that, but
right.
he's a different person because it's his final project that he did end up doing well. Um, even as a scumbag project, but it's the horny unicorn or whatever.
Yeah, the Holy Unicorn, this guy,
Right,
Van Wagner. What did
right,
expect to see this one, but yeah, he come back.
right. And yeah. I thought this for the nature of the show, it was perfect. I thought I couldn't be more happy with the ending as it is. I am very happy with this ending as it is. It was unexpected in its own way. It made it work,
Yeah.
and I put this up there with like some of the best endings with 6 Feet Under or
Yes.
even
Dude,
what's
Sopranos, Dre. Like people, I know
the
people
Sopranos
hate the end of
left.
Sopranos, but I love the end of that.
Yeah, the leftovers. I
Yes.
put it up with those endings. It's a very,
Yeah.
very good series. They nailed it,
And
and yeah,
and
this
points
one yes,
for like I don't know the song that they use for it by, but when I hear it, I was like, yeah, this is the perfect song. This is the perfect scene. The perfect shot. You know,
yeah,
the way how they frame it is like, yeah, this is gorgeous, right? Like I was watching this, I was just waiting for, the screen to go to cut the black, before you see the credits. I was like, yeah, it's one of the best shows I've ever seen in my life. Right? Like this is one of the perfect endings, to a show I've ever seen. You know what I mean? But if I just have, well, okay, so minor gripes, right? Minor gripes, because I'm a person who likes closure in stories, right? And I would like to see what happened to, characters that do show up, like say Hollyhock, for example. And
right,
I know, I understand, to the show's credit, we do have to stop and be like, okay, well, this is what Hollyhock is doing, and this is what
right,
this character is doing. But yeah, they do show up, and I wish that we saw what happened to them. Another character who shows up actually, but this is the first half, was Gina. This would be,
right,
oh gosh, Stephanie Beatrice from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, the character that she voiced, right? Remember, she was the one who worked with Bojack on that Dexter ripoff show, Filbert, right? And remember
right,
what happened then, right, in the last season. And then, well, what happens is that she was working on the next show, and then with this black guy, and then she just got a memory of that same event now, where she almost got choked to death now. And I thought
right,
they were
right.
going to continue that, but they kind of stopped it before they cut the
Well,
Hollyhock, went to the
yeah,
party,
I
and
understand.
fella tell she about the thing there. So I thought that they would follow up on that. And also, too, with the woman who was directing the film, and she was having she own issues, and then she ended up like working on, well, deciding to work on some feminist kind of superhero film or something like that. Like I thought they would
Well,
have
no,
continued the story there, but it just kind of stopped at
right.
that point now.
Yeah, no, they just leave it as it is because we kind of get a sense of it because we Hollyhock kind of lose favor for him because of all of the stuff that came out and what she found out about him. Though. That was at the end of last season, no, 5 I think,
Right.
and so I understand why Hollyhock kind of come out of his life, and then his life kind of melt down because all the bullshit come out and whatever it is,
Right.
and
And then also too, just last gripe, right? Sorry. He also introduced his character, well, Angela Diaz, right, who was like a former manager, I guess she was for Bojack, and she was trying to blackmail him. Well, that was like in the second half now. And yes, while it did lead to him basically self-destructing, I thought they would kind of follow up on she too and like what she was up to now, because she kind of was going to do something with the show Horseman around now. We're not gonna say what it was,
right,
but it was enough though for you to be like, okay, this is like the low point. This is like the lowest, the
right,
low blow that she give Bojack, and now this is why he did what he did, right?
right. No, yeah, I love what they did with that ending because like okay, they kind of do the Cosby thing, but they kind of carry a weird space with it,
Yeah.
which
Oh,
was really
and the joke that they make with the Cosby show is funny though. It says, so
right,
you take out
exactly.
Cosby, so is the show. I love that.
Just right, yeah, exactly. But they kind of do the whole. I don't know, without blatantly being critical of it, they kind of made kind of fun of the whole cancel culture thing, because it's like, yeah, it's at the end of the day, all how bad ever Cosby is, he's still a big part of television and entertainment history. You can't
Of
take that
course.
away.
Of
So,
course.
so
Yeah.
I like how they did that. They made fun of that in a sense, and they did the same thing with Horseman around her. And she did do this weird postmodern interpretation of around that, how three children,
Yeah.
learning. And it'll be funny in its own right, because it's like, yeah, a whole generation of people probably won't see it for what it is there.
Right.
And now that really interesting in its own right there. And then yeah, she just buy him out. It's like, wow, that was
Yeah.
good.
But that was brutal though, I won't lie.
Yeah,
But those are my minor gripes. But other than that though, I love the season. I love where the arcs ended, especially Bojack's. I can live with this.
yeah,
I love how they leave it all open ended. So, well, I don't think he's gonna mess up anybody's lives going forward, but I mean, I don't think that's the point of the show, basically.
exactly,
But
right,
like when you really dig in deep, is just the idea of like, are we all redeemable now? You know what I mean, even if we do something very bad, like incredibly bad. Um, I mean, yes, he got his just due and all that, but after the just dues and all that kind of stuff, what else is there? Is he gonna be like
right,
persecuted for the rest of your life, or is he just gonna
right.
keep living? You know what I mean? So
Right,
that
exactly.
that really
They,
really
they, they
connect with
did
me.
that. Yeah, they did it because the whole his punishment is really not the punishment for what he thing, right? Because you don't go to jail for that. You went to jail for another thing. But
Yeah.
they act upon him though. You go to jail for the thing that not you're not known for, as they say. And same thing with Cosby. Cosby went down for the sexual assault, but it's not his most of the hate is not because of the sexual assault. Like, not the reason why he had so many people turn on him though.
Right.
Because, well, we know, if behind the scenes, Cosby is you have a term for it, called Lara Pullet. He's undermine a lot of people, and if you look up Eddie Murphy, you know what's going on there, right?
Right.
Uh is that there's a lot of that. So is Bojack really what he went to prison for? Is really the whole shit, all the bullshit with Sarah Linda, and
Yeah.
like, wow, you wait 17 minutes. It's a real dumb, selfish reason why you do it. All this nonsense, and she could have lived with her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's all of that. So you see,
Yeah.
yeah. As I say, I could talk more about this. What time they're rating? Yeah, I give BoJack Horseman this final season, and whole series, I'll give it like a 9.5 out of 10. As
Nice. Nice.
this finale, or this show, as I say, this finale got about I give it a 9 out of 10. Pretty
All right.
good. It was what it is. But yeah, it's a really a one. It's a great series that I'd imagine. I will admit, I will take it. It's as a series that may not um live like have a good shelf life, simply because it does get into the moment of about our current zeitgeist of emotions. So I'm not sure if future generations could appreciate it necessarily. But for our generation, it was perfect of what the 2010s resembled, what the 2010s represented, and in terms of like just how we think about the world, and the you could say our generation is the generation to first really try to come to terms with a lot of stuff emotionally.
Right.
Other shows never really did that on this level. But yeah, I think it's a great series. I'm not sure if I really don't know if it'll live on. Like, if 10 years from now people will appreciate the show in the same way, I have no idea. Um, but as it is, yeah, great.
Right. Well, I agree with you totally. Right. Before right now to its longevity, because I do want it to last. Right. For people to remember it and keep seeking it out and do think pieces about it, all that. But I do agree with you. I think because it goes so deep into what I mean, just into the psyche of just the human behavior, just
Yeah,
being
yeah,
human. You know what I mean? It will kind of rub people off the wrong way, which I do praise the show for being ballsy enough to do that. But yeah, I right up there with you. This season was great. This show as a whole, I love this. The show as a whole, I give this a 5 out of 5. Watch the show before you
yeah.
die. This is one of the best shows I've ever seen, in my opinion. I can't wait for this to come out completely on Blu-ray. Why I say that? Because I think only the first 2 seasons available now on Blu-ray. Um,
Right,
I don't know how Netflix does do their distribution stuff. I'm not
right.
too sure, but yeah, they really do need to put this thing like the full season series on a box set. And yes, I will buy that as soon as possible. You see, this season here, this final season, I'll give a light 4.5 out of 5, man. There are a couple of little gripey stuff as I mentioned before. Just wish that we saw more characters get more closure, or at least see them near the end. But everybody kind of serve the purpose. You got your humor, and because we talking about all the dark stuff. But yeah, it is generally funny, true and true though, even in the darker episodes and whatnot. But the way how they ended though, like that final scene, like I say, will live on. In my opinion, is one of the best endings ever, probably most perfect endings ever. But yeah,
Yeah.
I can't praise the show much more, and I can't recommend this enough. So yeah, if you haven't seen this, if you haven't seen any episode of this, yeah, please jump into this. But just just be warned that this is not going to be an easy pill to swallow. You know what I mean? Even with its surrealist humor, and even though it's an animated, show, but it goes deep, it goes dark. But trust me, it's a journey. It's not an easy one. It's not I would say a happy one. But you'll come out of it kind of learning about yourself and just about your place in the world, and that's how it affect me. Like I came out of it really like kind of understanding my place and where I exist basically. So yeah, thanks to Bojack for that, man. So yeah, to the creators of the show, to the writers, to oh gosh, to Will Arnett, the talented voice cast across the board, man. Yeah, y'all killed it with this one. So yeah, Netflix on a roll. Please put this out on a box set. I need to get this.